pretty funny that I'm being perceived as a wokish liberal by most people who are commenting on my channel lately, because most of the time in my immediate circle, I have to defend myself against the perception that I'm being overly pro-Trump. It's fair enough, and I kind of get it, because if you follow my line of thinking in my videos about the presidential election, I was wishing that the Democratic Party would wake up and change in time to win the election. I held that hope until the very last weeks before the election, when I realized that it's probably going to be Trump, and I started my inner process of figuring out what that means for me and for the world. And for the record, I did vote for Trump, knowing that we are probably heading towards World War III, and that this meant that the collective is in a place where we cannot move to the future timeline that I was hoping for, and we're going to have to sit with the pain of where things are at, especially in terms of the conflict between the masculine and feminine energies. The hatred for the masculine, the denial of the feminine. I voted for Biden the previous election, and I voted for Trump the one before, and I voted for Obama the one before that. As a Pisces, I feel heavily influenced by the collective energies, and my thinking is always geared towards prioritizing objectivity and balance. So I've tended to be in tune with what needs to happen next for the collective. Coming back to the question of whether I'm a woke liberal or a very Trump person, it is neither. I cannot throw away either side. I wish we were more evolved than we are, but I see the validity of both sides, and I'm waiting for the integration so that things can make more sense throughout. Trust me, I've been on the other side of the toxic feminine, and I would not wish it on anyone. But of course, I've also been on the other side of the toxic masculine, being a woman, and none of what the Democrats are saying or doing is foreign to me on an emotional level. What I don't agree with, and is very off-putting to me, is the fact that the Democrats, more often than not, are externalizing and displacing their emotions onto others, where it doesn't belong, and are losing sight of what's real, and what's actually going on, and what's actually called for. But I have to accept that this is the way things are, and I see the Democrats' situation as a sign of how little room and incentive there is in the collective for people to process their emotions in their own space and not take it out on others. I've been heavily focused on the masculine side of the story because that's where the energies are at right now. What the unhealthy masculine is, and the main theme, which is the denial of emotions. And I'm going to talk about what's good about the masculine energy that's coming through since Trump became president. But let me first end this part of the story with the fact of reality that as long as the right denies the legitimacy of emotions, we will continue to see a left that's drowning in emotions and detached from reality.